What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to cover the lag tolerance spell queue window discussion here in World of Warcraft. What does that mean for your character? Well, coming to past expansions, we have the main issue of your casts not being close enough to each other. So what does that mean? So I'm going to start off by just showing this with a lovely weak aura that I have. This is what spells used to look like, and I'm, for example purposes, moving them far apart. Now, with proper settings, which I'm going to explain here in a second, they'll look like this. So they'll look one after the other like they used to be back in Legion. So in Legion patch 7.2, there was this thing called lag tolerance, or spell queue window, moved from 250 ms all the way up to 400. And all this is the time the game takes to register the next spell to queue it into the window. And what does this do? Well, for any classes that rely on procs, or for any classes that rely on certain abilities to be pressed at certain times, this is horrible. This goes for tanks, healers, damage dealers, any content whatsoever. And let me explain why. When you lower it so low, say like to your latency, to your MS of home or world. So right now I have 54. If I were to lower it to 54, I'd have to be literally a robot clicking it at the time it ended. You up it to 200, 300, 400, whatever you feel comfortable with. Don't go higher than 400. And you don't have that issue anymore. You don't have this issue where you're sitting here casting a spell and then it literally takes the computer a second to understand that you casted the next spell. You're going to have extremely fluid spell casting, like so. It's just going to sit there and it's going to go over and over and over again. The way to understand what this is, spell queue window, is lag tolerance. So I'm going to pull my window up here so I can show you guys. You get this command with /dump get spell queue window. CVar get spell queue window. And I'm going to throw this in the comments section, but it's basically dump get CVar and then in parentheses spell queue window. So what do I have mine set to right now? If I were to run that command real quick, I have mine set to 350. Now, just a second ago, I was telling you, keep it high. Keep it to what you feel comfortable with, because this is going to help you in the long run, and I'm going to explain why here in just a second. So, the command to change it for what you are comfortable with is /console spell queue window and then number. So let me just show that on screen right here. So if we do this, it's /console spell queue window and then X for number, right? So what does this enable to do? Why am I explaining this right now? Well, I am a mythic raider, and this can be used for heroic, this can be used for normal, PvP. It's not just mythic raiding, but this is where I found it, and I want to explain. You missing globals is the difference between your burst windows being higher. If you had, say, I'm a warlock, so I'm going to use warlocks as an example. Let's say I'm on the 9, right? Let's say I'm in a Havoc window, and I can realistically cast 5 Chaos Bolts. With a spell queue window of 50, I'm only going to get 3, maybe 4 off, because of the gaps in spells. With a spell queue window of 350, or what I'm comfortable with, because I've played with it for an hour and a half, I can comfortably get 5. Because all of the spells are right next to each other. They're all queued in. So it's relying on you to put the input in early. So you have to play chess knowing your class ahead of time. Now for light up classes, obviously if you want to lower it a little bit, it's what you're comfortable with. So lowering it a little bit on, say, like an enhancement shaman with Stormstruck procs, that's okay. But then don't forget to re-enable it on like a higher class, like Warlock for example, where you have to cast certain abilities at certain times, and sometimes it takes a minute. This is why. So, let me explain. If I move my chat window back down here, I'll lock it real quick. Obviously, I'm going to use the same window up here. So I'm going to cast my opening rotation with my Warlock pet out on these two dummies. So we're going to go normal rotation with everything unlocked. Now I have a Havoc window. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I just casted 5 Chaos Bolts in a Havoc window. That entire Havoc window gave me a ton of damage, right? And you noticed up here, all of the abilities were back to back to back. There was no, oh, like half a second and then gap. If you look on your Warcraft logs and you see, so let me just pull open Chrome real quick. So I'm gonna pull open a random log that I had a while ago. This is a log that, okay, so this is the log I did before I found this out. We're gonna go to Analyze, we're gonna come over to Encounters, we're gonna go over to the 9, right? I'm gonna click on me. Gives it a second, and I'm going to come up to Casts, and then I'm gonna come up to Timelines here on the side. So we're gonna pull this over a little bit so people can see what I'm talking about. There's a timeline on the side here. You go to Analyze, Timelines, Cast, and then you click on yourself. You'll notice, if I scroll my window back down here, that there are gaps between Chaos Bolts. There are gaps between Incinerates. There are more gaps. There are occasional no gaps between Chaos Bolts. That is your spell queue window. That is the difference between you casting spells. If I come to the log that shows the 21st, after I understood that this existed, and I click on Encounters to the 9, and I go to Analyze, and I click back on me. And this is a log after I fixed this. Just to explain, there are literally 0 or very minuscule gaps between all of these windows. And you'll notice I casted Havoc at 2 seconds. I fit 1, 2, 3, 4. And because of movement, the 5th one did not go in. Actually, the 5th one did go in. So I fit 5 full Chaos Bolts in this window, where before I only fit 4. Know your spell queue window. Know what it does for you, because you will get logs that literally look like this after you fix it. There may be the occasional spell gap, like this one. It's very minuscule to see, but you will get to a point where you do not have gaps in your spells. Thank you guys for watching. The actual things to use for this, I will link in the comment section below, but I wish Blizzard would make a statement to this. I wish they'd understand what is going on. Sometimes this can get a little difficult to explain, so let me know in the comments section below if you have any questions, comments, or concerns with this. Did this help you? Are you a person that's using 400? Are you a person that's using 60? Take some time, understand what this window is, make it work for you, set on a training dummy for like 20-30 minutes, get it down real quick, and then go into a raid. And I guarantee you will see better results. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one.